everybody! I'm here today to tell you how to overcome anger and frustration. These are great ways to control your emotions. If you are looking towards controlling your emotions, this is the video for you, because we all experience anger and frustration, and I want you to overcome those things, because you can lead a very happy and emotionally stable life if you can overcome those things. Now, let's get this off the bat right away. We all experience anger and frustration, okay? You know, it's normal to experience those things, but it's overcoming those things that makes the difference between emotional success and failure. So I'm going to go over 3 simple things that will allow you to overcome those things. I, believe it or not, had a lot of built up anger and frustration over various things in my life, and I was able to overcome everything pretty much and lead a very happy, relaxed lifestyle simply with these 3 steps. So number 1 is to identify what you're angry or frustrated about, okay? And because, you know, it's likely going to be caused because something isn't going the way that you want it to. So your anger and frustration is likely going to be because, you know, something's not happening the way that you want it to happen. A situation's not going the way that you want it to. I'm going to give you an example, and I'm getting really personal here. You know, I experienced a lot of anger and frustration because I was working like night and day to become financially successful, and I just started to really gain some momentum. So I started to really make some serious money, more money than pretty much most of the people that I knew. I was in the top category of earning in terms of income, in terms of anybody that I knew pretty much. But I was driving like the most beat up old car, and I still am, out of anyone that I knew. And I was like, I didn't know it because I took pride in the fact, listen, I'm making the most money, but I'm saving the most money too, basically. But I ended up being really angry and frustrated because, you know, even though I was working harder than everyone else, I looked a little bit worse than anyone else. And that caused some built up anger and frustration. And I couldn't figure out why. I was always angry, and then I realized that was the reason why. So identify the reason why you're angry and frustrated. Dig deep, because I was getting frustrated at random things and angry random things, but the real reason was because, you know, things weren't going the way that I wanted them to go in terms of I worked harder than everyone else, but I didn't look like I worked harder than everyone else, right? In reality, I lost more money in the bank, and I still do, but, you know, I didn't look that way. And that bothered me. Even though I didn't think it would bother me, it actually did. So that's step number 1, identify it. And I'm going to tell you about my own personal experiences here. Number 2, identify what you want to be different. Okay, so now you want to figure out, you figured out what's causing you the problem. Now you got to figure out what you want to change about it. What do you want to be different? What would make you happy? Okay, what would you change about the situation that's not going your way to make you happy? And for myself, what I would change was that I would want to drive a better car than them, or have something that shows that I worked harder than these people. And they're people that I love, friends, family members, people that I'm close with, and I love them and I want the best for them. But if I'm working harder than them, I want it to show. So what I did was I instead bought a house that was ridiculously more, you know, pricey than theirs. And this isn't by no means trying to brag, but as soon as my wife and I bought our new house, all that anger and frustration went goodbye. And it was amazing. And it was because, like, finally, all of that hard work I did, I have something to show for it that shows that, and it's materialistic, yeah, whatever, but you can talk whatever smack you want, no problem. But at the end of the day, I'm like, look, this is where I live. It's a nicer area and a nicer house than the average person, and that's because I work harder, way harder than the average person. So identify what you would want to be different, okay? Once you identify it, that's going to lead us to step number 3, which is determine a solution that you can control that will make it different. Okay, so basically you want to determine a solution that of whatever you can do that's going to make it, that's going to help that situation work in your favor. So, you know, for myself, I determined the solution. I don't want to waste money on a nicer car just yet. I'm not ready to go buy a nicer car. Okay, financially, I want to send myself light years ahead of everyone else. So a car won't do that for me, but a house will. I live in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. The prices of houses are astronomical. Okay, especially when you get into the nicer neighborhoods. neighborhoods, you're looking at $1.5 to $2.5 million for a house that needs work, okay, in the nicer neighborhoods. And that's at the time of me filming this. When I release this, it's probably gonna be another couple $100,000. So that's an asset, and they're appreciating several percent per year. So for me, buying a house was something that I could show. It was a solution, but also it's going to be an appreciating asset. Unlike a car, it's not a depreciating asset, or what I like to call a liability. Okay? So basically determine the solution for what's going to work in your favor. So for instance, let's say, you're getting frustrated because your job isn't going your way. You're not getting the promotion at your job. That's what's frustrating you. Okay, so you identify it. Now, what would you want to be different? Well, you want to make more money from the promotion, right? So let's say what you want to be different is just you want to make more money. You don't care about the promotion, but you want to make more money. Well, step number 3 would be to figure out the solution to make that happen, which would be get another job or start like an online business, start a social media business like I did, because then you can actually make that extra money and you don't have to worry about the promotion, and your social media business is completely in your control. That's basically what I did. That's another level of frustration that I experienced. But that's it. It's very simple. I just wanted to tell you how to overcome anger and frustration and tell you about my own example, because at the end of the day, I want you to overcome it, but I want you to know how I overcame it. And believe me, it's an ongoing thing. You never get rid of anger and frustration completely, because life doesn't always ever go your way every day. So you always have to deal with it, but it's overcoming it. That's the key to success. And that's it. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.